Good morning.
Hey, guys.
I refuse to turn my heat on, so. Last time I bought oil, it was $5.25.
Well, I turned ours on. They just filled it like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I thought a day or two
Yeah,
is going to be okay.
right.
It's cold, but it's ridiculous. It's May.
Damn.
It's
Oh,
sad.
Hi, everyone.
hello.
You're muted, Martin, I think, if you're trying to talk.
Your mouth's moving, so we think you're trying to talk. There you go.
I said that I'm almost out of oil and I just refuse to get more this year, you know.
I know.
Hopefully in the fall it'll be cheaper.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, Loa, do you want me to move the first person in while we're waiting? Because they're here. It's Chuck Mandel. You're muted.
Muted. Yes.
Okay.
That would be great. We're still expecting John.
One more.
One more. Is that right? Yeah.
That's right.
Can you hear me, Maria?
Yes.
Okay. I guess she's not letting me be on video. I don't blame her.
Under the circumstances. I'm right behind you.
All right.
It won't let me show you. Why?
Uh-oh.
Oh, there you go. Join as panelists.
There you go.
There we go. Okay. We have a quorum tonight, you think?
We're supposed to.
Yeah,
Oh,
Three is a quorum?
is three a quorum, or do we need John?
no, we have 5 members.
So 3 is a quorum.
Yeah, but we should have John. Let's give him a couple of minutes.
Yeah, we'll give him a couple of minutes.
And quick question, Maria, are you able to screen share for me?
Always.
Oh, okay, good, because I'm not very adept at that.
Chuck, you want the site plan that you sent this today?
Yeah, the one that, yes, exactly. There was an updated site plan based on commission comments
Okay.
from the last meeting. So if you could show that one. I believe it's up to revision 5. It was 4/28 was the date of the plan, the revision date.
Okay. Okay. I just promoted John as a panelist. He came on as an attendee.
All right.
He never lets us down.
No, he's always here when he says. All right. Can you hear us, John? Hopefully, except he's muted. Well, but he's here, right? There you are. All right, so I would like to open up the Madison Inland Wetlands Agency meeting for Monday, May 2nd at 7:04 p.m. We'll start with our regular meeting items. We have application 22-12, 56 Tuxas Road. This was continued from April 4th. And we have a representative for the applicant, Chuck Mandel. Chuck.
Okay, thank you. Good evening. So this was received last month. There were several commission comments in regards to the actual pool location. So I spoke to the client, and Maria, if you can show the plan, might be a little bit helpful. So, and if you zoom in on the pool area, please. That's the just behind the garage. So I discussed it with my client and his architect, and we decided to push the pool, move the pool back to the edge of the original location. And we actually removed a couple of feet of the patio, so we brought that in a little closer also. Based also on Mr. Brogy's comments, he was looking for a letter from a soil scientist. So we had Bob Russo go out there. And I have provided that letter to the commission, and I can just give a quick synopsis of it. I'll just go to the last paragraph. I can read the whole thing if you want, but for time constraints, this is from Bob Russo. Based on the conditions observed at the site and depicted on the plans, I believe that there were no wetland impacts due to the existing pool location, and there will be no impacts to inland wetlands due to the proposed location. This was, didn't see the moving of the pool further away from the wetlands when this letter was written. So we actually moved it the additional couple of feet. No impacts on inland wetlands due to the proposed location, provided that best management practices are properly maintained. So my client took the commission's comments into consideration. We did move the pool further away as suggested, and we did get the letter from the soil scientist. So we'd be looking for the vote for tonight. In addition to that, we do have another application. I don't want to jump ahead of it, but we are proposing a 1,000 gallon underground propane tank, which is also on this plan. It's approximately a little over 60 feet away from the inland wetland, and it would be placed completely within the lawn area. And I was hoping that could be a section 13 to eliminate us having to have received this tonight and then come back once again to the commission to get further approval for this change in the plan.
Okay, well, yes, so that's, we can totally talk about the propane tank, but we'll take it one at a time.
Okay.
And go with the pool. So you moved the pool, you got a letter. Are there any questions from the agency members for Mr. Mandel?
I don't have any.
John or Martin, any questions?
I'm just
Comment?
checking the location of the silt fence erosion control. Is that on this plan? Am I just not seeing it?
Yes, it's that dashed striped line that runs. It's almost parallel to the wetlands towards the back a little bit. So scroll up. Yeah, there you go, Maria. Now, if you go up, plan. Yeah, the silt fence is shown as the that line type. It's a thin line with a darker line against it. So that is the silt fence.
Okay. Okay.
And I believe that's in the legend also, Mark.
All right. Thank
Mr.
you.
Mandel, can you remind me what kind of equipment you're using to take out the old pool?
I'm sure it's an excavator, mini excavator will be used. The reason the pool ended up being taken out was during construction of the garage, they realized the condition of the pool was so poor that it couldn't be salvaged. So the pool had all that concrete, it would have to be removed. It wasn't salvageable. I believe it was over 40 years old.
And I assume that you're just going to move it around the garage down the driveway? Is that how you're gonna get rid of all the
Yes,
excess
yeah.
concrete?
Yep, within the, obviously, within the silt fence area. Yes.
Right.
And if you scroll down, Maria, there's also a finer detail, the bottom right of the plan that the architect had provided, showing the actual layout of the pool, table area. So that was more of a detail of how the arrangement's going to be there.
Yeah.
Other questions or comments?
I move we approve application 2212 56 Tuxas Road.
Anybody want a second?
I'll second that.
All right, so we've got a motion and a second. Any additional last words on this? Okay, all in favor? Raise your hand. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Very exciting. All right, so 22-15 is moved until June. So we will move on to application 22-17, 81 Yankee Peddler Path. And this is where we had a site walk. And I believe, Mr. Mandel, you are here again.
I'm back. Yes, I am. So once again, Maria, if you can indulge me and print that out for me, please.
Do you want the homeowner honors? That's fine.
I don't think, no, I mean, I don't believe we need him on here unless he'll text me tomorrow and say, you didn't let me speak. But unless I run into trouble, I don't really think that he needs to be involved right now.
Okay.
All right. So the commission was out there on the field walk. We also had Bob Russo. One of the comments again was to have Bob Russo write a letter. He has a more extensive letter on here. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I mean, obviously I can if you want, but if we could just go down to the last, the summary. I think we could just cut to the chase here. I'll just read it quickly. The proposed activities will not directly impact wetlands. The work on the upland review zone, which includes construction of stormwater management and slope stabilization, can be accomplished without impacts to the wetland and watercourse resource if erosion and sedimentation control measures are adhered to. CLA, which is Bob Russo's company, believes that there will be no adverse wetland impacts and the action is necessary to ensure long-term stability of the bank is what he's talking about. So if you want to jump to the plan, Maria, there was also, he did recommend some plantings along the, once it's stabilized. I didn't put those on the plan yet, but I think as a condition of approval, I think we could have Bob Russo go back and actually see after construction, the best placement of where those shrubs should be and the exact quantity. And I can provide a list and I can update the plan. I can actually do an as-built once it's completed and provide that to the commission or to the wetlands agent, either way. The purpose of this is to stabilize the slope. There's damage to the structure right now. We're minimizing disturbance. We will be putting a stone retaining wall of boulders in there. And I think it's a necessary, unfortunately, you know, back in those days, there was no wetlands commission. So these lots actually were built very close to the wetlands with no consideration of erosion control and that type of different mitigation techniques. It was never part of a consideration. And I know my client's very anxious to get started very soon.
I have a question. It's actually just a detail on the site plan. It's in the notes. It's note number 7. and this is just, I guess you'll want to fix it before you get
Oh.
it.
Okay, yep.
Sanitary as-built information is based upon a field survey conducted by Thomas and Stevens Associated on, and it has like 6 question marks.
Oh, yeah, actually, that is a typo. That, the as-built information was based on town records is what it should read.
Okay,
So I can certainly correct that plan. We can pick it up on the as-built, or I can make that I can change that at any time and provide that to the commission. Thank you.
and yeah, so my question was going to be, because it does say in the in your soil scientist notes, selective clearing of vegetation and replanting. And so, yes, the replanting, where, let's see. So where on this plan, or I can open up mine.
Yeah, so Kilo, actually, I was going to wait after that wall was installed. We're not going to go beyond the silt fence, but Bob may have different recommendations of plants. He talked about blueberry or winterberry. I'm not sure Martin can correct me if I'm wrong. He's probably more familiar with the plantings. But I was going to let Bob Russo actually pick that after the construction and after it was partially stabilized.
But generally on this plan, Ms. Mendel, where do you expect those to be?
Along the wetland boundary, I imagine. There's going to be vegetation to stabilize on the other side. It would be on the other side of the silt fence. I don't think there's any actual plantings in the wetlands themselves. It'll be in between the silt fence and the wetlands.
Okay, well, I guess, I mean, that would be helpful information to know, obviously, because I mean, we like to know where things are going to happen on plans before we approve them.
Yeah, I believe the initial recommendation was about 6 plantings. We could have more extensive, but it will be adjacent to the silt fence.
Okay, and that's just to stabilize.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously.
that's for further stabilization. Correct. And that will get done. If you want, I mean, I'm sure my client you could post a bond amount to make sure it gets done, but like I said, I'm sure it will get done. But it's going to be necessary to stabilize that anyway. He will want vegetation there.
So between the stone wall and the silt fence is basically what you're saying, right? Is that,
On the back side of the stone wall, yes.
okay.
Yeah, between the stone wall and the wetlands.
Okay.
Was that planting scheme referred to in Bob Russo's letter?
Yes, it was actually. It was
But just very vaguely as replanting, right? This,
yeah, his note number 4, it says selective clearing of vegetation and replanting.
Well, he also says owner to plant 6 shrub species as highbush blueberry or winterberry to replace the limited vegetation the project will disturb.
Correct.
Oh, is that in the letter? Okay.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, next, yeah.
That's
so
in the letter. Yep.
paragraph.
So I think that's good. Well, I think it's nice to have the number of species and the type of species enumerated, in that letter. I think that's satisfactory, and maybe we can consider a bond or just, a note to John to make sure that those get installed.
Yeah, I don't think a bond's necessary. I like the idea of an as-built though.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the Wetlands Commission in my town, and I'll tell you, we started doing that, and this way it ensures that the work actually gets done, because a lot of times the commission doesn't have time to review these or go back, or town staff doesn't have it. But if it is a condition of approval before the final sign off, it's always a good idea to have the as-built information.
Other questions for the applicant?
No.
Very quiet, everyone's no. Okay, someone want to make a motion?
I move we approve application 2217-81 Yankee Peddler Path with the conditions that plantings take place as delineated in Mr. Russo's letter, and that the applicant provide an as-built prior to final turnover of the project.
I'll second that.
All right. Any other questions, comments? Gone. Okay. All in favor of the motion? as conditioned. Okay. Any opposed? No abstained. All right. Look at you go.
One more.
One more. Let's see. So this is for receipt. And we can talk about it. Application 22-18, 56 Texas Road. And this is what we just saw previously. An application to put in 1,000-gallon underground propane tank within the wetland review area, as we saw 60 feet and a bit away from the wetland.
So Maria, if you want to put the plan on, if everyone forgot what it looked like, if you want to put it back up there, I'd appreciate it. And zoom in by the driveway. So yeah, my client would like to put in a 1,000-gallon tank. It's approximately, in the notes, it's approximately 5 cubic yards of material that will be removed. We're about 60 plus feet away from the wetlands, and that's completely within the lawn area that's presently there, or that will be there once it's reseeded. In talking with town staff, I was hoping to get a section 13 on this. I'm not sure if John wants to weigh in, perhaps. You're still on mute. Maybe he doesn't want to weigh in.
My mouse was dead.
Oh, okay.
So, no, I was uncomfortable when it was much closer to the wetlands, hugging the ENS barrier, but it's been relocated almost 61 feet away. I know the agency has talked about 50 feet being comfortable, and they don't want to see, a lot of disturbance in excavation, closer than 50. So, if I look at note number, I think it's 10, pretty much explains the methodology putting this tank in. They're going to remove the excess material. I think there's 5 cubic yards. They're going to take that off site. And maintain. They're going to stabilize it, maintain the ENS, and I can keep an eye on that until the disturbed areas are in fact stabilized. So, I think this is something that I feel I would be comfortable doing this as a section 13 if the agency so directed me to do so. I would be okay with that.
Right, and let me just add. So based on John's comments, the first time the propane company wanted it, that had just put it on there. They didn't really understand anything about the wetlands implications. So in contacting the propane company, the distance, that 60 feet doesn't matter for the propane for feeding the equipment that will be fed. So the distance didn't matter. So that's why we were able to move it the 60 plus feet.
All right. So agency members, questions, comments?
Yeah, I have a
There's
comment
people
on
in there
that, and
too.
that's, the propane tank will be, out along the driveway, not too far from the road, but there's going to be an underground line, I imagine, running from that tank to the house,
It'll run to the corner of the garage, yes.
to the corner of the garage, and it'll be an underground line. It'll have to be excavated.
Yep.
Okay.
So I believe it's a half-inch, quarter-inch line. It's very small,
Okay,
very small diameter line.
right. Okay. Any idea how they'll be installing that?
Trenching, I'm sure. Maybe not excavating. They have those ditch witches. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay. And will that take place when the silt fence is still up and the pool
Yes,
being constructed?
absolutely. Yes, and that's also in Bob's letter.
Sure.
The silt fence
Okay.
remains in place. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that silt fence is going to remain in place until everything's reseeded and stabilized.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to if the records show that it's, it's not just the tank out there, it's other work and excavation.
Yes,
coming
there
back.
is a subsurface line. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So,
But it can be serviced directly, filled right from the driveway. There's no
sure. Okay. Yeah. Given the context of the existing approval and the silt fence, I don't have a problem with John just giving it the nod and an inspection.
I agree with that.
Okay. Was that you, Lee, or John?
That was Lee.
Okay. And John, can't see him. Are you okay with this as a section 13?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I am.
All right. Oh, Mr. Mandel, your lucky day today.
3 for 3.
I was sweating all day for no reason. Okay.
Yes. All right. Great. So that application, let's see, application 22-18 can be a section 13, which is excellent. And yeah, I know there's no grass. I walked by there the other day and it was
Yeah.
completely as it was previously. It'll be fun to see it all fixed up at some point.
Yep.
All right, so that's it for our applications tonight. We're gonna
Thank you
move
very
on.
much.
You're welcome. All right, guys. Hopefully everyone did their homework.
Mhm.
Lots
And
of
Joe's not here.
lots of minutes. I reread the minutes. I'm all up to date on minutes. Got lots of minutes to read. And John, Delora, you said you know who's supposed to be reading what. So why don't we go way back into the February sidewalk? I think
Sure.
that's February 19th.
It's Kayla, Joe, John, and Lee.
Okay,
I was
so,
there.
all right,
I didn't see anything at all in that one that I had comments on.
okay. John, did you see anything in that one? I didn't see anything either. All right, so all in favor of approving, who are allowed to vote for approving the minutes from February 19th, 2022, our special site walk, raise your hand.
Aye.
All right,
Aye.
nobody's voting against, nobody abstained. Yes, okay.
Excuse me, Kayla, did you do February 7th?
Well, I don't know. Are we supposed to?
It's approval of minutes on the agenda.
We can, and so who's supposed to do
Oh, it was? I didn't.
it? I didn't see that on the modified agenda. I mean, I can pull it up.
It was on mine today, so I could have a draft agenda from someplace else. I don't. The one that I have is February 7th, February 19th, March 7th, March 10th.
Yeah.
There should be March 26th. That was a special meeting site walk, April 4th and April 21st.
Okay. So I'm looking at February 7th and we had me, Joe, John, and Lee again.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have that one.
So I am seeing if I highlighted anything on those. Did anybody,
Well, I don't have it in front of me. Let's,
You don't- well, okay.
this is more complicated than,
Yeah, can we, sorry, we're not
Table
gonna,
it.
we're gonna table that one. But we're gonna do all the rest.
So
Or I can get to it
February
too while we're
7th is
talking.
going to be tabled.
So so we'll table February 7th, but we are gonna move along to March 7th.
Yeah.
And that was,
Kayla, Joe, John, and Lee.
okay, so here we are again. Did any of you, I'm gonna pull up my copy. Did anybody highlight anything there that they noted in, I'm pulling mine up in, let's see, March 7th. I did. But I don't know if it's worth, so on page 3, it's just a typo. It said Vice Chair Boudreau questioned a well-off premise, but it's well-off is hyphenated, which kind of actually changes what it might mean, but I don't know if it's worth
Right. Yeah.
doing. Anyway, it might be because it does kind of change how you think about it. And then I highlighted Phoenix environmental boring, but that's because I was trying to figure out if that was the I think that is the name of the company. But I didn't have anything else in that.
Yeah, I didn't really have anything else either.
Okay. All right, so maybe we can just change that hyphen on that page 3. That's okay?
Yep.
All right, so do we need motions for these? Well, I'll make a motion that we approve the
Yeah.
minutes as modified, as amended for March 7th, 2022.
I'll second it. Okay,
All right, all in favor?
me,
Okay, no opposed, no abstaining. All right. Got rid of those. And then we are on to, March 10th.
Same group, except Martin has joined you now.
Yes, okay. So this is, again, kind of it's only 5 pages. I did not catch anything. Did anybody else?
I did not either.
Okay.
Doing a great job, whoever's doing it now.
I know the minutes. I wanted to say a shout out to whoever's doing the minutes because it
Yeah.
was, it
Yeah,
was
she's
great.
doing she's doing a really good job.
No mistakes.
Yeah.
She's very good.
Yes.
Lucky.
Very lucky. It's a pleasure. So no comments.
No,
All right, I'll take a motion.
I move that we approve the minutes for March 10th. 2020.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstaining? Okay. All right, great. Moving right along. So then that's March. So then we're into April.
Oh,
So
excuse me, Kayla, there is a we can table this one too, but it was somehow deleted. I picked up this afternoon, but March 26th, it was a special meeting, it was a site walk. And you may not have it. It may not have been included in your packet. If it wasn't, then let's table the March 26th special meeting.
okay,
Site walk minutes till the next regular meeting.
okay.
I reviewed it. I don't know whether
Oh yeah, I've got.
anybody else did.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that was. Yeah. 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 Sorry, I laughed because I opened the agenda and I was like, it's 1 sentence, but it's a little more than 1 sentence. And yeah, I reviewed that. And who was there? So we've got.
It's Kayla, Joe, John, and Lee.
Yeah, so I reviewed it. It looked fine. I don't know whether John had a chance to look at it or not.
Yeah, I thought it was fine as well. And are you okay with it, John, or did you have a chance? It's pretty basic. Did he nod? Did I miss it?
Yeah,
Oh, John, can you hear us?
Yes,
Oh, okay. And are you okay with those sidewalk minutes?
Yes. yes,
Okay.
I,
All right. So I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from March 26, 2022, the site walk.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor?
aye.
Okay, no opposed, no abstaining. Now we can move on to April. All right, so now we have April 4th, right?
Yes.
Okay, 2022. Oh, yes. So this is long, but I did find something. So on page 2, it's for the 17 Carmel Court. Let's see, it's the second sentence that goes down to the third line. It just says, and the proposed, it should say pool is 4 foot closer to the wetland, or it should say something, but it just ends with the proposed. The proposed is 4 feet closer. Or maybe it means patio. Maybe I just read that wrong. Well, I think it should say pool. I don't know. It's minor, but that was the only thing that I found. does anybody have, um,
I wasn't at the meeting, so that probably.
oh,
But
okay,
but
so,
in reading the minutes, it would be clearer, I think, if it added proposed pool there. Or maybe even existing swimming pool before that.
so shows the footprint of the swimming pool does not reflect the patio, or should, and the proposed pool, yeah, so, or the proposed activity, probably activity, because what is actually 4 feet closer at that time was the, kind of the apron, the concrete apron, whatever they're gonna
That's
put.
true, that's true.
So, yeah, so I think activity would be a good word to insert there. The proposed activity is 4 feet closer.
Okay,
Is that okay with,
that's fine. That's fine.
okay, okay. Um.
I have a comment on the following one on 50 Pleasant View
Mhm.
Ave. The first sentence, says Mike Ott, licensed professional engineer, land surveyor with Summer Hills Engineers, was present for the applicant. And he goes on to talk about Mr. Snarsky's review. And I think it would be worth adding a sentence in there indicating that Mike Ott provided the commission information that the adjacent property to the north consisted of mowed lawn. There was a lot of discussion around this application in terms of whether or not the wildflower seed mix would be adequate versus woody vegetation. And the questions were asked as to, what the adjoining properties looked like. And I think that helped to inform the commission's decision to just let it be a wildflower field. And part of that information included Mr. Ott's testimony that there was grass lawn to the north. And I thought that was worth including in the record.
So, Mr. Brogy, just as a matter of clarification, you are now referring to the April 21st minutes. We have moved on to that.
No, this is the April 4th.
April 4th.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
That's fine.
Yeah, this is April 4th. We had a big agenda that night.
Right.
Yeah. It was,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
application,
Thank
it was 2203 Pleasant View Ave. In that paragraph where, Mike Ott is introduced and his information is provided. So I think just, I don't know if it's one or two sentences, but some information that the commission was asking about the land cover adjacent to the property to help make an informed decision as to the adequacy of the wildflower field. And, we were informed that it was, grass lawn to the north.
But of course, at one time, it wouldn't have been lawn. I mean, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a lot of trees in Google Earth, and that satellite imagery is actually pretty dependable, but for the record, I thought it would be good to show what information we received from the applicant.
So John DeLaura, I'm trying to remember, I remember at some point in time, we were kind of instructed on what we can do with the minutes, like the extent to which we can modify them at this point. Can
Yeah,
we,
well,
is it okay to add a sentence like that? Or,
no, well, I think there are two things. We're not going to change the original minutes.
Right.
Those are going to stay exactly as they are.
Right.
The minutes of this meeting will reflect what you're referring to at this point as you go through all of these minutes. So
Right.
it's not really changing the original minutes. It's just editing, what you think you need to change to approve them. And so now they'll be approved with these edits.
okay. Okay,
But basically what you don't want to do is change the content of what the original minutes were.
well, I guess that's what I'm asking, because that's what it seems like we're, I mean, in some senses doing if we add, but of course I suggested we added activity because I think that word was left out.
Yeah.
And then Martin's suggesting we add a sentence or two, and I'm just trying to figure out, like, at what point are we significantly adding?
Well, I think if you're going to add a sentence or two, you're not significantly if you're not changing the the content.
Okay, all right. So Martin, I think what you just kind of articulated sounds fine. That it should be noted that the applicant, that Mike Ott noted that there, to the north of the property was also lawn, and that some of his testimony with respect to the property informed our decision to stick with the wildflower meadow instead of requesting more woody vegetation. Does that capture what
That's
you?
perfect. Yeah, I think that's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I thought it was important to really document, why we made the decision we did.
Yeah, so fair enough. All right, so I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as amended,
Yeah.
with
Yeah, that's good.
adding in, adding in activity on that
Yeah,
application
as amended. Yep.
as amended. And then the sentence we just discussed. Anybody want to second that?
I'll second.
Okay, so I kind of rushed through that. That's 9 pages of minutes. Were there any other comments or questions before we vote on those minutes from April 4th?
Looks
No?
good to me.
All right. All in favor of the minutes as amended? Raise your hand. Say
I'm
aye.
abstaining. I wasn't at the
Oh,
meeting.
right. Okay. Okay, they're approved. All right. So now we're on to April 21st, 2022. This is the site walk, right? For Yankee Peddler. That we just approved. Are there any comments on these? So it was Joe, John, Lee, and Martin and me. Yeah. Any comments?
They look good to me.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a
move
motion.
Go ahead.
I'll second it.
We're tripping over each other to get through these. All right. Any comments? No comments. All right. All in favor of approving these minutes? Yes.
Aye.
All right. And then, is that it? Is that it? That's it.
That's it.
Wow.
Job. Yay for us. We only have to take one, which is better than all these. All right. So we are successfully through that. Remarks. No, those are my remarks. I'm very excited that we got through those minutes, and we're not going to be here till 10, much as I love hanging out with you guys.
Yeah. Right.
Unless John has lots of comments. So I'm going to hand it over to John.
No, I wouldn't do. No, actually, no, not that I can think of right now.
Do you know what are we looking like for June as far as applications? I know we have the Carmel Court that's been pushed back.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I
Okay.
mean, we had the receipt for Tuxas, but we'll do that as a section 13.
Do that.
So
Okay.
it looks like we might get a break for a couple of months.
Gonna knock on wood just in
I
case.
do want to- Yeah, that's right. Right.
Yeah, it's been a grueling 6 months.
It's been a bit challenging. I know my family's like, when are you gonna be down? I'm like, never. Forever. But not tonight. So I'm looking. We have there's only one thing left on the agenda. I'll entertain a motion.
I move we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, nicely
All right.
done. Yay.
Thanks, good job.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys in June.
Okay,
Take
bye,
care.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Even